you're wondering why your portfolio looks like it fell down a flight of stairs this week, you can thank Anthropic. They finally decided to wake up and choose violence by releasing a new legal plugin for Claude Cowork. And the market, well, didn't exactly react too well. Legal and data stocks absolutely tanked. Thomson Reuters took a nosedive, dropping by 17%, and RELX, owners of LexisNexis, who offer legal products and solutions, fell between 11 and 15%, depending on which panicked analyst you actually ask. Basically, Anthropic wiped out billions in market cap faster than my wife wiped out their savings on Prime Day. So what does this plugin actually do? Well, according to Anthropic, it can automate contract reviewing, NDA triage, compliance workflows, legal briefings, and templated responses. You know, the stuff junior associates spend 60 hours a week doing while questioning their whole life choices. Now, if Anthropic is to be believed, they reportedly built the core of this tool in less than 2 weeks using their own Claude Code product. I mean, sure, if we're conveniently ignoring the years and hundreds, if not billions of dollars it took to, build the AI that builds the AI, then sure, but, let's not get bogged down in the details. They also slapped a disclaimer on the legal plugin stating that all outputs should be reviewed by licensed attorneys, which is another way of saying, look, don't sue us if, we hallucinate a precedent from the 1850s. Now, will this AI replace lawyers? Probably not entirely, but will it replace a lot of the work that junior lawyers do? Well, the market seems to think so. And when billions in the market value evaporates in a day, someone's probably right about something. Personally, I'm just waiting for the Claude Audit plugin so I can finally explain to a tax man why vibe coding is a legitimate business expense. Until then, if you're holding legal stock or legacy legal tech stock, maybe don't. And Elon Musk has finally decided to merge SpaceX and XAI, creating a private company valued at 1.25 trillion. That's a valuation that is quite literally astronomical. Get it? Because anyway, the deal values the rocket company at 1 trillion and the AI startup at 250 billion, which I'm sure was calculated using a very complex formula and not just picking, a nice round number out the air. Now, while the valuation is sky high, the logic behind it is creative to say the least. Musk says that this is about building a sentient sun and launching data centers into orbit because energy is a bottleneck for AI. He's even asked for permission to launch 1 million satellites, up from the measly 9,000 that they actually have now. It's not rocket science, well, half of it is, but the other half looks like a lot like financial engineering. See, XAI is currently burning through 1 billion a month, which is roughly what I spend on coffee to actually make these videos. While SpaceX is a responsible older sibling, bringing in, a nice, cool 16 billion a year. So by merging them, you get a vertical integrated innovation engine, or as I like to call it, a very expensive way to pay the electricity bill. Oh, and they're also targeting an IPO in June to raise 50 billion, not because of quarterly projections, but because there are rare planetary alignment that's coming up, and the fact that he actually turns 55 at the end of June. That's right, the potential largest IPO in history is being dictated by astrology. Personally, I can't even align my images in Word, so who am I to judge? In a move that feels almost illegal in the current tech landscape, FireFox has decided to actually read the room. While Chrome and Edge are busy shoveling AI down our throats, Mozilla is rolling out what is essentially a global kill switch for generative AI. Starting on the 24th of February with FireFox 148, they are introducing a single toggle that lets you remove every single generative AI feature in the browser. And I do mean everything, even blocking the integration of Anthropic, Gemini, ChatGPT, and more. I mean, it turns out people just want a browser that, browsers. Crazy concept, I know. The interesting part here is how thorough the block actually is. It's not just hiding the sidebar chatbot, it kills the actual helpful stuff too, like AI-enhanced tab grouping, link previews, and even alt text generation. It's a scorch the earth policy for privacy. If you toggle this on, no data leaves your machine to the third-party AI model. Thank you, Firefox. It's a refreshing strategy, really, marketing the absence of a feature as a premium. But considering the amount of fatigue we're all having with these AI overviews clogging up our search results, I mean, simply having a quiet, boring browser might just be the most exciting feature that we have in 2026. Who knows, maybe not having a chatbot judge the tabs that I have open will finally give me a little bit of peace of mind. The Super Bowl is just around the corner. AKA, that time of the year when companies spend the GDP of a small island nation on a 30-second ad. And this year, Anthropic has decided to join the party, but with a twist that's arguably more entertaining than the actual halftime show. The entire multi-million-dollar ad campaign is focusing on how they don't have ads. Yep, that's right, you heard that right. They brought an ad to tell you that they hate ads. That's some Super Bowls right there. These ads are taking a swing at ChatGPT, positioning Claude as the ethical, ad-free alternative. The tagline is, ads are coming to AI, but not to Claude. It's a bold statement, paying millions to claim the moral high ground, but I'll allow it. Sam Altman took it really well and, as you can admit, went to X and called the campaign dishonest and authoritarian. I mean, calling a chatbot subscription authoritarian feels a bit rich for my blood, but hey, I don't run a billion-dollar company burning potentially $14 billion this year. And here's hoping Anthropic doesn't, start running ads in the future. That's we're going to get a repeat of what happened with Samsung when they spent years mocking Apple for removing the headphone jack to only, remove the headphone jack themselves. Hilarious. Personally, I'm just waiting for the AI to start generating the ads and buying the products for me, so I can finally be left completely out the loop. And we have a few new AI releases this week that might be actually interesting to you, depending on, how exciting your life is. First up, we have Claude. Anthropic upgraded their smartest model again, rolling out Claude Opus 4.6, which, surprise, smartest model since their 4.5 model. This one is aimed mainly at developers though, so better coding, better debugging, better code reviews, and can now hold on to context for way longer, having a 1 million token context window in beta. It has better benchmarks than Opus 4.5, of course in most areas, but one interesting benchmark, it's now the leader of the GDP Val-AA, which test models on real-world tasks. So if you're looking for an AI to create PowerPoint slides or edit spreadsheets, you might want to give this new model a go. Not to be outdone, OpenAI fired back, but with two new releases this week. Codex for desktop, well, for macOS at least, and GPT 5.3 Codex. The new Codex app is being positioned as the command center for developers, allowing you to manage teams of agents. One example they gave involved the model using 7 million tokens to build a racing game from scratch, coding, designing, and even playtesting it. It also comes with personalities now, so you can choose between a terse partner or an empathetic one. I mean, personally, I don't need my code editor to ask me how I'm doing or how I'm feeling about a syntax error. Mate, just fix it, mate. They also released GPT 5.3 Codex, which is looking to compete with new Opus 4.6. Oh, what timing is that? OpenAI calls their new model the most capable agentic coding model ever. It's about 25% faster, sets new highs on coding benchmarks like SurfWE Bench Pro and Terminal Bench, and does so with fewer tokens. Efficient and judgmental. I love it. They also casually mention, GPT 5.3 Codex helps build itself. It debugged training runs, diagnosed development issues, scaled GPU clusters, and analyzed its own evals. Oh, and they've bumped their cybersecurity grant to $10 million, probably because they realized that they just built a very efficient digital lockpick. Switching topics before we all start naming and actually falling in love with all these new agents. Kling has released Video 3.0 Omni. They are all in one multi-model video model. The big deal here is consistency. So we're talking characters that stay the same, objects that stay the same, and now voices that stay the same too. You can upload a short video of your character, 3 to 8 seconds, and Kling extracts both their look and the actual voice. There's a bunch of other features, but looking at some of the content that's been generated, I must say, I'm actually really impressed with this model. It's probably the leader from my point of view. If only I had the budget, to actually, generate more than 10 seconds without going broke. And finally, something more refreshingly, human, Spotify and books. Spotify is partnering with bookshop.org, letting users in the US and UK buy physical books directly through the app, starting later this spring. Physical books, they will make up, 73% of the trading publisher revenue. So Spotify is saying, we like audio, but, money is money, mate. They're also launching Page Match, which is the more interesting feature, which is honestly one of the better ideas I've seen out lately. You can scan a page from a physical book or an ebook on your phone, and Spotify syncs you to the exact spot in the audiobook. Or the other way around, and it tells you where you need to resume your reading after you're listening. No guessing, no bookmark, and no, wait, was that before or after the betrayal? It's rolling out to iOS and Android by the end of February. And the big banks have officially lent so much money to Oracle that their massive $300 billion OpenAI partnership that they physically can't lend any more money. A bank on the deal actually admitted that they called every single project financial bank available and came up dry. When the banks who literally print money say they're broke, you have a problem. So with $56 billion in debt hanging in the balance, they'd resorted to some, legal tactics, but maybe, no, maybe, yes. Now, if you're not aware, construction loans are inherently risky. It's a hole in the ground. Things can go wrong, things do go wrong. Contractors disappear, you kind of get the idea. Typically, banks hold on to this risk, but because they're full, they've managed to get these loans rated as investment grade, which is incredibly rare for a project that isn't actually even built yet. The rating allows them to dump their debt onto insurance companies and pension funds who legally are required to buy safe assets. Essentially, they're taking a construction site and pricing it like a government bond. The banks are effectively passing the risk to the insurance market before the music stops. If the AI boom pays off, everybody wins. If not, well, the banks won't be the ones holding the empty bag. Your pension fund will, which I hope you didn't actually have any plans to, retire. That's me for this week. If you like what you saw, please subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you next week.